Good morning, students. Today, let me discuss the next important aspect, that is so called as the informal organization. So, within this, you are going to study the meaning, merits of informal organization as well as the demerits of informal organization. So, let us go through what actually it is mean by informal organization. The name itself suggests that this type of organization is informal, in the sense the people who are at work or the employees who are working within this kind of organization are not going to follow and respect any kind of structure, any kind of definite or the specific structure, and it is going to be created by the group norms, and there is no officially laid down rules and regulations to follow. And how the groups are going to be created? The groups are going to be created based on self interest, frequent interaction, and based on the friendship. Why? Because there is no force. The employees who are having their self interest, they can come and join this kind of a group. This type of organization is so called as the informal organization. So here, what points that you need to remember is, in the sense, it is by nature informal, in the sense there is no definite or the specific structure, and second thing is that there is no officially laid down rules and regulations, but we can see only the group norms and set behaviors. And apart from that, the major role of the groups, how the groups are going to be created, not because of any kind of the force, not because of any kind of the undue influence. They are going to be created with the self interest, frequent interaction, as well as the based on the friendship. The groups are going to be created. So this is the meaning part of informal organization. And next thing is that merits of informal organization. So looking to the merits, the first important merit is that faster spread of communication. Why faster spread of communication? Because there is an independent line of communication, in the sense there is no formal structure, there is no officially hierarchy. That is why the communication takes place at a faster rate, at a speed, and even there will be frequent interaction. In the form of social network, there will be frequent interaction. They can share their opinions without following any kind of the rules and regulations or the structure also. That is why the faster line of communication, the faster spread of communication that you can see. And second thing is that it creates sense of belongingness. Sense of belongingness. Why? Because here there will be emergence of some sort of the groups, and those groups are not going to be created because of any kind of official rules. The groups are going to be formed based on the friendship, interest, as well as the frequent interaction, and there is no force, there is no undue influence. Whoever having the freeness, autonomy, they can frankly come and join this kind of a groups. That is why we can see that there will be sense of belongingness. And third thing is that no formal rules. Why? Because there will be only the group norms, and those norms are going to be decided by all the employees who are there within the group, and there is no formal set rules and regulations or the structures, and there is no formalities are going to be followed. That is why there is no formal rules and regulations, and there will be only the group norms which are going to be adopted and followed by all the employees who are there within the group. All these are the three important merits of the informal organization. And next thing is that demerits. What are the demerits of informal organization? First thing is that more rumors. Why? Because there is no officially set rules and regulations to follow, and there is no specific or definite structures, and employees can frankly openly express their interest, opinions, suggestions with having no doubts. That is why it is going to spread more rumors. And second thing is that restrictions on the growth. Why restrictions on the growth? Because the groups are not ready to respond to the changes, because those have been created based on their group norms. There is no officially laid down rules and regulations. That is why they cannot suddenly respond to the changes of the business environment. And there is no successful implementation of the plans. Why? Because there is no hierarchy at all, there is no job position at all. That is why there is no successful implementation of the plans. And third thing is that conform only to the group expectations. It means that whatever the norms which is going to be decided by that group, only that is going to be followed and adopted, and there is no strict rules and regulations, there is no authority and responsibility. That is why everything it is going to be decided by the group only. That is going to be only been followed by the this kind of a group. And moreover, if it becomes very harmful to the business organization, when business organizations are not ready to fulfill the expectations of the group, then these groups cannot come forward so as to fulfill the interest of the employees who are within this group. That is why the employees of this group cannot put efforts and cannot put commitments for the success of the organization. That is why conform only to the group expectations. It means that whatever the objectives which are going to be decided by those groups, only to fulfill all those, the employees have been gathered in the form of group, but there is no meaning to work for the organization. That is why it may becomes sometime harmful to the group expectations as well as the harmful on the performance of the company also. That is why it is so called as the informal organization. With this I am going to conclude my discussion. Thank you.